the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, and Jerry Keyser.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report presented by Oakshade Raceway, coming at you live from our Hammer Down Racing Report home studios. I'm Scott Hammer. That's Ron Miller over there, and that's Jerry down there. I feel like we're in the Brady Bunch every week.
Like I said, I'll take Scott Hammer for the block, please.
Okay. Hey, our theme song on Facebook. I don't put the theme song that we do for the videos. It's actually on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Those guys, Inner Circle Avenue, we got a new album coming out tomorrow, so we got to give a shout out to them. Cool. So if you're a fan of our opener there, you can check that out. Their new album actually is going on sale tonight at midnight. Factory of Dreams. Haven't heard anything off of it, but I'm sure it's probably going to kick ass.
Go ahead, check it out.
Local guys, yeah. There you go. Coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure to like us. We've surpassed 100 people on YouTube. I never really promote the YouTube thing, but I guess we probably should pay attention to it now. We're over 100 people there, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it's
Hi, YouTube.
Not huge, but that gives us, it unlocks things. So now you can just go to youtube.com/Hammerdown Racing Report. We can have a custom URL now, so that's pretty cool. Thanks, guys. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. And, of course, you can listen to us anytime on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Spreaker. HammerdownRacingReport.com. That has links to everything you need to know, including sponsorship opportunities. Tonight on the show, we are going to be speaking with DIRTcar National Late Model Point Leader Rusty Schlenk, 6-time late model champion at Oakshade. He's got numerous championships. So we'll be checking in with him in about 10 minutes or so. I want to thank Oakshade Raceway. We're the fastest meet to race. This weekend, May 29th, Saturday night, it's American Late Model Series returning for the first time since 2019. $14 general admission for that. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. Hope to see everybody out there for that. Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, the most technologically advanced goose and duck decoys ever produced, and they're manufactured here in the U.S. Check out realgeese.com or call 419-800-8100. You can check out the hoodies they have available on their website. Also, Millstream Speedway. Scott Warner's been pretty quiet. I got an update last night. I heard from him.
All right.
They're still on track to hit that opener on June 13th. He's just hasn't really had anything to say, just because they've been busy getting that place ready to go. So June 13th, Late Models, Mod Strucks. Make sure to follow them, Twitter, Facebook, millstreamspeedway.net for all the latest updates. I think we're planning on doing a couple of Facebook Lives in the next couple of weeks on Wednesday nights at 7. So make sure to follow them on Facebook. Also got to thank Big D's Pizza. One of our longest sponsors will be giving away a Big D's Pizza later on tonight for the How Many. And, of course, Ron Miller Race Cars and Freeze Frame Photos back with us after last season. So we'll talk more about them later. Got that racing roundup, Jerry?
Yes, sir. This week's Racing Roundup, once again, brought to you by Tim Sims, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators in Lima, Ohio, home of the Hillbilly High Banks. That's where I'm at tonight. Starting with this week, it's Flat Rock Speedway was in action. Jeff Versek picked up the win in the 50-lap Arca Moran Chevrolet Outlaw Late Model feature. Greg Stute notched the Street Stock A feature. It was his second of the season, and Bill Early won his second Figure 8 feature of the year. Attica Raceway Park was in action with David Gravel inheriting the lead when Sheldon Hodenshield tangled with a lap car coming to the white flag. Gravel then held off 10-time series champ Donnie Schatz to score his 4th World of Outlaws win of 2021. On Friday night, Brent Marks has passed a ton of cars against the World of Outlaws the past couple of seasons, and Friday at Attica was no different as he charged from 19th to a third-place finish behind Schatz. Fremont, Ohio's Mike Keegan edged defending track champion Paul Weaver by .001 seconds. That's 1,000th of a second for those of you paying attention in the nonstop affair for his first ever sprint car win. That's got to be the closest margin of victory ever at Attica, I would have to think. Could it be any closer than that?
Not and be measured.
Yes. So congratulations to Mike for grabbing his first ever sprint car win, and man, he beat some real, tough cars. Paul Weaver and Jamie Miller, class of the field in the 305s there at Attica. Lima Land Motorsports Park, man, what a show that was. First time sprint cars back on the track since August of 2019, and Harley White from Lindsay, Oklahoma, won the 22nd annual Run for the Rabbit, honoring Travis the Rabbit Miller. She really put it on him. Randy Hannigan finished third with Connor Leffler coming on second, and I got a chance to interview both of them all three of them in Victory Lane. And when I got to Randy, the first thing he said, "I can't believe I got beat by a girl." It was all in fun, though.
Yeah,
but it was all in fun. Randy was having a very good time with it. She was very, very.
I'm sure
tough.
She's never heard that before either.
Yeah.
Should have asked her that when we had her on the show.
But she was awesome. She really looked good, and I'm looking forward. If weather lets us run at Lima tomorrow and Wayne County Saturday and Waynesfield Sunday, it's going to be interesting to see how she does in this big Ron Colley Junior Memorial weekend.
Stick around later on the weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman. We'll find out that forecast. I haven't heard it yet, so it'll be new to me too.
Yeah, good. I'm leaving before I hear it.
Yeah.
Oakshade Raceway was in action. 6-time late model track champion Rusty Schlenk parked in the Oakshade Raceway winner's circle for the second week in a row Saturday night, and he's going to park right here with us on the Hammer Down Racing Report in just a few minutes. Chris Keller and Devin Shields finished second and third, respectively. Mike Jesse got his first sportsman feature win of the year with point leader Josh Robertson finishing second, and last week's feature winner Rusty Smith finishing third. Jeff Folks Jr. picked up his first Bomber A main feature win of the season, with Gabe Mueller runner-up for the second week in a row. Brad Eitner finished third. Joe Carr won the compact feature over last week's winner and point leader Eric Carr. Jason Deschler was third. Shane Stuckey picked up the easy Bomber B main win over Bobby Swagger and Chris Blykamp. At Fremont Speedway, was defending 410 track champ Nate Dussel holding off DJ Foots and Cole Macedo to win his 26th career Fremont feature. Dustin Shroop held off Alvin Ripke on the late restart to win the makeup 305 sprint feature from the season opener that was cut short due to rain. Matt Foots finished third. Ripke drove to his 10th career feature win in the night's regular 305 feature, with Jimmy McGrath Jr. finishing second and Jamie Miller third. Sean Valenti picked up his third dirt truck feature win of the year over Jeff Babcock. It was his 64th career Fremont win. Sandusky Speedway was in action, with Ben Watson winning the Renegade feature over Clayton Oliver and Andrew McCall. Kyle Lawson took another pure stock feature win over Johnny Newman and Dan Smith. Matt Marlowe won the modified feature over Kenny Sharp and Jason Wells. In the beginner stocks, Sawyer Stout took the checkers over Jason Stanfield and Ethan Rosiska. At Shady Bowl Speedway, we were in action with the Dave Nagel Excavating late models. Matt Parsons picked up the win in the late models, with Ryan Fleming second, Jake Hinton third. Adams Automotive Street Stocks, it was Jason Mahaffey picking up the win over Josh Sage and Rodney Roush. The Tuners were in town, with Alex Booby picking up the win over Gary Eaton Jr. and Ron Favors.
What's his name?
Alex Booby. I had to ask him in Victory Lane before he called it out. It was great.
That's not an alias?
Not an alias, nope.
Oh,
the young man is out of Indiana and put on a show. He came from the back, had some issues, had to pit, came back from the back, and actually picked up the win over Gary Eaton Jr., who's a longtime racer at Shady Bowl in several classes, and it was a great race for sure. The Bullet Liner Dayton Thunder Cars were in action, with Brad Blue picking up the win over Scott Drake and Landon Jones. And then the Herod Septic Solutions Compacts for the 55-lap Hot Rod McElfresh 55. It was Nick Barrett picking up the win by just a car length over Ethan Pope, who started 11th and was coming on at the end, just ran out of time. Great race for honoring the longtime Shady Bowl legend. Connor Leffler won the NRA Sprint feature at Eldora Speedway over Dylan Westbrook and Jared Horseman on Saturday night. Scott Williams took the UMP modified feature over Brian Ruhlman, and Kurt Spalding. In the Super Stocks, it was Jordan Conover taking the checkered flag over Rob Trent and Jeff Matheny. At Toledo Speedway, the ARCA Series was in action, with Ty Gibbs winning Saturday's ARCA Menard Series Hers Potato Chip 200. It was his third series win of the year. Corey Heim finished second, with Nick Sanchez third. Greg Stillwell made it two in a row with the win in the late model series earlier in the evening. Stephen Smith scored his first ever feature win in the factory stock feature. Next up for ARCA is the General Tire 150 at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Saturday at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car action. 58-year-old Dave Blaney stunned Sheldon Hodenshield with a last lap pass to score his 95th career victory at the track he owns at his hometown of Hartford, Ohio. On the final lap, Hodenshield bobbled coming out of turn 2, allowing Blaney to get by him and grab the checkered flag. It was a record between victories, is what I missed the exact amount of years. It was like 26 or 24 years between victories for Blaney.
Is that all?
So that's just a couple weeks, So he was short of being the oldest winner by, I want to say, like 3 months. Sammy Swindell still holds that record. So it was close, but Sammy is still the oldest to win an outlaw feature. Hot and Show came on second. Carson Macedo rounded out the podium. Next up for the Outlaw Sprints tomorrow night at the Terre Haute Action Track in Terre Haute, Indiana. I believe that's postponed. Is that what I understand?
No, that's the Silver Crown tonight at Terre Haute.
The Silver Crown tonight. So they're still right now on for the Outlaws tomorrow. Yeah. And then the Memorial Day Spectacular at Lawrenceburg Speedway in Lawrenceburg, Indiana on Monday the 31st. Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions were in action. Tyler Courtney stormed to his second All-Star win in 3 races Thursday night at Circle City Raceway. He completed the sweep of the first 2 events of Circle City Raceway history by topping Friday night's Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions win as well. He earned a $10,000 payday by just over 0.8 of a second over Rico Abreu. Hunter Schoenberg notched his second podium in as many nights with another third-place finish. Cap Henry won his first Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions feature of the season during All-Stars Indiana Invasion at Gas City I-69 Speedway Saturday night over Rico Abreu and Billy Baylog. Passing up his high school graduation for 4 days of sprint car racing, Zeb Wise came home the winner of the 40-lap, $26,000 to win Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions 3rd annual Rudine Foundation race at Kokomo Speedway on Sunday night. Wise wheeled a sprinter to victory, finishing 1.8 seconds ahead of Tyler Courtney, Rico Abreu, Cole Macedo, and Scotty Thiel. Tyler Courtney picked up the series championship for the Indiana Invasion, picking up a cool $10,000 check for that. Davy Brown Tribute Race at Williams Grove Speedway in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania tomorrow night is the next up for the All-Stars, and then on Saturday and Sunday, it'll be the Bob Weicker Memorial at Port Royal Speedway in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Mike Marlar took the lead with 3 laps remaining en route to winning Friday night's Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series feature at 300 Raceway. Tyler Erb finished second, and Kyle Bronson came back to finish third. Transportation Solution 50 at 34 Raceway scheduled for Saturday was postponed to Thursday, July 15th. Next up for the Lucas Oil Late Model Series was supposed to be tonight. The Cowboy Classic's been postponed till tomorrow. They are going to run that and then run the regular show for tomorrow at the Lucas Oil Show Me 100. The Don and Billy Gibson on Friday, and then the 29th annual Lucas Oil Show Me 100 on Saturday at Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland. Morton Buildings World of Outlaws late models were in action. Chris Madden swept through Port Royal Speedway Friday night to win the Huey Wilcoxon Memorial in dominant fashion. Brandon Overton tried to chase Madden down, but had to settle for second. 3-time champion Brandon Shepard crossed the finish line third. Chris Madden seized a moment Saturday night during the Billy Varick Memorial at Port Royal to claim his second World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Series victory in his
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, right. Rick Eckert finished second, and Port Royal regular Dan Stone finished third. Next up for the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, Friday, June 4th at Circle City Raceway in Indianapolis, and then to Plymouth Speedway in Plymouth, Indiana on Saturday, June 5th. In NASCAR action, Todd Gilliland overcame a pit road penalty early in the race to earn his first NASCAR Camping World Truck Series victory since 2019 in the inaugural event at the Circuit of America Saturday afternoon. Kaz Grala, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Is it Grala? No. Grala.
Grala.
Okay. Saved his tires to finish second.
Growly.
Tyler Ankrum finished third. Kyle Busch dominated Saturday's Pit Boss 250 to earn his 98th NASCAR Xfinity Series triumph of his career. A.J. Allmendinger ran second for most of the race and finished second, and Justin Allgaier finished third. In a waterlogged, rain-shortened Echo Park, Texas Grand Prix, Chase Elliott earned his 12th Cup Series victory when low visibility and inclement weather forced a red flag stoppage 14 laps shy of the scheduled 68-lap distance. Though there were several hours of daylight remaining, concerns over safety were brought to the forefront after 2 nasty multi-car accidents during Stage 2 and worsening conditions due to standing water puddling on the course led to NASCAR declaring the race official at 6:30 p.m. Kyle Larson finished second, and Joey Logano rounded up the podium. Next up for the Cup Series, the Coca-Cola 600 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway on Sunday at 8 p.m. on Fox. The Xfinity Series is in action on Saturday, May 29th for the Alsco Uniform 300. And that's Saturday at 1 p.m. And then the trucks are in action on Friday for the North Carolina Education Lottery 200. In other notes, Buddy Kofoid spun and then won in a thrilling POWRi Lucas Oil National Midget League performance Friday night during the opening half of the Super Clean Ileana Showdown at Charleston Speedway. Kofoid, who started ninth, spun on lap 4 and spent most of the main playing catch-up from there. Kofoid capitalized on a restart with 10 laps left when he fired a slide job on his teammate Dason Pursley and held on to finish 0.605 seconds in front of Pursley for his 5th POWRi win in 6 starts. Bobby Pierce took the lead at the drop of the green flag and dominated the Castrol Flow Racing Night in America feature on Tuesday night at Tri-City Speedway as he led all 40 laps. Pierce finished 4.177 seconds in front of Jonathan Davenport, who finished second. NASCAR Cup star Kyle Larson, there's that guy again, finished third. The series moves to Florence Speedway in Union, Kentucky on Wednesday, June 2nd. And that will do it for this week's Racing Roundup.
That's a lot of racing.
Yeah, it was. Like you mentioned earlier, USAC Silver Crown cars are postponed for tonight. We'll see. Did they announce a makeup date for that yet, Scott?
No, I just saw the note from Dave just before we came on, so that's all I've seen. But it looks like Rusty's been in our virtual green room here. He's been yawning, so maybe we should bring him on. Yeah, I don't know if we're putting him to sleep. But we
talked about him. We talked about him kicking their butt again at Oakshade.
Well, let's bring him in here. Let's do this. Nope, we'll make him the big screen here. That way, if he yawns, we all see him. Are you driving?
So we can see right down his throat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's got his eyes closed.
Okay. I don't think you're supposed to be driving and playing on your phone.
I'm riding. Dusty's driving.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess that's all right. Who was
Safety first.
Wasn't one of the ARCA guys got in trouble for doing that live streaming at Daytona earlier this year?
But that was in his race car.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Rusty Schlenk, how are you doing?
Oh, not bad. You guys, how are you guys? I'm hoping this rain goes away so we can race this weekend. I'll be in a lot better mood if that happens.
Yeah, there's no rain. It's not raining here. I don't know where
you don't say that for. Why are you saying 4-letter words on this broadcast?
Right, I hear
you. You did bring it up.
Get us in trouble with the FCC over that.
Oh, we're not. We're good. So, I mean, man, you've been on a roll, at least at Oakshade the past couple of weeks, and you're leading the points, the championship points again. I mean, you're no stranger to that. Was that your plan to go for the DIRTcar national points again this year?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of always the plan. We just do as much racing as we can, and if it all works out where we're at the top of the points at the end of the year, we'll give it our best to try and win the deal. So. We have so many UMP tracks around here that I can usually get a good start on everybody and jump out to a decent lead usually in that UMP deal at the beginning of the year. So far so good.
It almost seems like the guys that are winning the championship lately make it through the summer nationals. Do you have any plans to do a fair amount of those shows?
Man, as of now, I don't really know. We don't have a plan. We've kind of just got one car together. I'm so busy building stuff for other people right now and trying to get my customer cars out of the shop that I don't really have a good plan together to run the whole Summer Nationals deal. I'll probably run some of it, if not a lot of it, as much as we can. But I got to buckle down here in the next couple of weeks and get ready for it. I don't see us doing the whole thing. I mean, maybe somewhere around half of it or so.
All right. Well, let's talk about Domination Race Cars. How's that been going for you?
Really good. Way better than anticipated. Man, I couldn't ask for it to have went any better. We're number 23, I believe it was, just came off the jig today to get welded up. So. We've been building cars for a little over a year, and we've got 23 of them out there already. So I'm definitely happy with how it went. Way busier than I anticipated. So we've had some hurdles we had to jump over to try to accommodate everybody with spare parts and everything. But so far we've been able to keep the shelves stocked and keep people in parts, and it's going good.
How much does it help you to go down to Florida in the beginning of the year to take Domination Race Cars down there and get your name out and by having decent runs like you and Colin both had down there this year?
That's huge. And I mean, that's kind of our goal, is just to, at the beginning and the end of the year, I like to get out to different places that we've never been, try and showcase what we've got a little bit. We're not a Rocket or a Longhorn by any means. A lot of people haven't even heard of us yet. So, it's good to be able to get out there and run good, and especially with Colin. Colin's been huge, showcasing the race cars because he's so young and he can jump in these things and travel around with me and run up front and qualify good and run respectable. So he's helped out a lot also.
Do you have a backlog of orders coming in for these chassis as of right now, or?
No, we've actually finally just got kind of caught up. I think we've only, as of right now, I think we're 3 or 4 behind on the waiting list. So we were, man, I think at one point we were 11. A little bit. Generally, race season is a little bit slower. Obviously, everybody's got the race cars ready to go, and they're not really looking for stuff. But it's spare part season for us right now.
I know that you kind of ventured off into the modified world. How is that working out so far?
Oh, hold on, I'm having some going on here.
Can you hear us?
Oh.
We can hear you. We can see you. You're still there.
Yeah, I have no volume on my end. I can't hear you guys at all.
Oh, no.
Well, we can wave at you.
I don't know what's going on here.
Anybody any good with sign language?
Try, well, I would say to reconnect, but if you can hear me. Try reconnecting. There he goes. Yeah, he got it.
Oh, yeah.
While we're waiting for him to join back, there was one other thing in the our other notes for the racing roundup. Chris Wyndham snagged his third Tony Holman Classic for the USAC Cummins or the USAC Amsoil National Sprint Cars at Terre Haute Action Track Wednesday night. That was last night.
Did you see Brady Bacon's crash?
Yes, and he got in his backup car and finished third in that. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So look at that. Rusty's back. Can you hear us now?
I got you.
Isn't this great? The modern technology, super.
I don't know what happened, but your voice went away.
Well, it's probably better that way. But so you're doing modifieds now as well as late models.
Yep. We've built 2 modified so far. We've got a modified up in northern Michigan. Chad Bauer is piloting that one for us. He's been running really good. He should have 2 wins by now. He had a couple mishaps his first couple nights out, but he's been really good. And then we got one out in Missouri. Jeff Cutshaw from out in Missouri has our very first modified that we built.
So how can people get a hold of you if they want to get a car built?
Oh, give us a call.
Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook's the easiest way. Domination Race Cars on Facebook. You can get a hold of me on my personal page on Facebook, or call my cell phone. I think all my cell phone number and everything's on all of our pages up there. So
there you go. All right. Well, you've won a lot of championships. Can you name all the championships that you've won?
No. I don't know. I think we've won Oakshade 6 times, maybe.
Yep.
Won a couple sportsman championships there. I think we've won ALMS 5 or 6 times, maybe. We've won the national championship 3 times. Man, I don't know. We've won the regional stuff a few times. I don't even know where to begin.
So what do you have left to prove? I mean, what would what's a race maybe that you would like to win that you haven't got under your belt?
Oh, there's a lot of those out there. We have a lot to prove still. I mean, we've definitely proven ourselves at the local and national or local and regional level. But we've got a little work to do to be able to run. We can run good when we show up to national events. I mean, they know we're there. We run respectable. But like when we went out to Arizona and stuff this year, I mean, we went out there and we ran decent. We had some decent top 10 runs, made about every show, and they know we're there. But I definitely want to next few years here. I want to get our program to the point where we can show up at about any national event and run up front.
Okay. So, what's your plan for the next or for the rest of this season? Then you're just gonna kind of pick and choose. I know you said you had no plan. Last time we talked to you, I think every time we talk to you, it's like, wake up in the morning and decide I'm gonna go here or there. You don't decide till the morning.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we roll all summer long. The weather's just so hit or miss. I mean, it's every time we make a plan, it gets changed anyway. So I just try to watch the weather and I kind of know where every UMP event is in our area, and we'll head whatever direction the weather looks best.
Are you going to chase the money and head down to Eldora for the dreams?
I doubt it. Like I said, I've got way too much going on right now. I got a couple customer cars that I need to get finished up before Summer Nationals gets here. So unfortunately, we're not going to do the dream this year. That's kind of a whole week ordeal, and I don't have the time to take a week off right now. So I'm going to spend as much time in the garage as I can getting things ready so I can try and hit as many Summer Nationals races as possible.
How do you balance the time between building the cars and running your own race team?
There's no balance at all. It's just chaos all the time. That's actually where we're heading right now. I'm heading up to work on the car. Thank God for the guys up to TBR. I mean, Tyler Bork and my car owner and all his guys, Troy and Skinny and Shane and the guys that work on the car up there all week long to make sure that it gets maintenance and washed and all that stuff. It takes a huge burden off of me. I'll show up there maybe once a week and do some of the technical stuff that needs done. And go through some of the things that they don't feel comfortable doing. But if it wasn't for those guys, there's no way I'd be able to pull off what we've got going right now, because I spend 14 to 16 hours a day in my race shop trying to get customer stuff done, and I don't have the time to spend on my car like I need to.
It doesn't seem to be affecting you too much. I'm just saying.
Well, honestly, it has. It really has. I mean, people don't see it from the outside because we're still running decent and winning races, but we've struggled here the last 4 or 5 weeks to get the car back to where it needed to be. I mean, we kind of lost where we're at. The car needed gone through. I mean, there was some stuff that I needed to do, and I just hadn't spent enough time in the shop, and the car kind of got away from me a little bit. So we've been spending the last couple of weeks here going through everything and getting it back to where we need. And I think we finally got a good grasp on things, and hopefully I can have the time to keep things where they need to be from here on out.
Now, your strategy in running for the national points, you look at a track to go to compete at. Are you looking at what their payout's going to be, or are you looking at where do I have the best chance to get UMP points?
A lot of it comes into consideration. I mean, obviously we need to make money from night to night to keep going. So, I mean, we consider everything. We look at the purse for the track. I mean, I like to try and hit at least one decent paying race every weekend to try and make a little bit of money. But we also look at car count. We try to get bonus points if we can. So we try to go to a track that has a chance of getting a good car count for bonus points. Honestly, recently I've been choosing tracks just by the quality of the racetrack. I've been trying to go to places where I know that I can pass and move around and not get stuck mid-pack, because I don't know, for some reason lately a lot of racetracks have been pretty one lane and hard to pass, and it kind of sucks when you show up with a really good race car and you're stuck in the middle of the pack and can't go anywhere. So I honestly, recently I've just been looking at good racetracks to go to where I can move around and have some fun and know that if I have to start 12th, we got a shot at winning the deal.
Rusty, you were talking about bonus points. Looking at some of the results, there's a lot of tracks that are struggling for car count. Are the bonus points still that big of a deal?
Yes and no. A lot of the tracks, like out Illinois area, they don't even get enough cars to even have a B main half the time. So out in that area, those guys, the guys that are running up front out there, they're kind of at a disadvantage. I mean, there's times around here, some of the bigger races, Oakshade and stuff like that. There's times that we can have up to 30 cars. So it's huge for me to even if I only get 4, 5, 6 races that have bonus points. I mean, if I get 5 races with 5 extra bonus points, that's 25 extra points at the end of the year. So, and it usually comes down to a 25 or 30 point window to win the national championship. So it's definitely huge if I can get a couple races with good bonus points.
All right.
I'm guessing weather also plays a factor as to what tracks you're going to go to too.
Yep, that's like I said. That's the biggest thing right now is to make sure that I go to an area where I know I can get at least 2 races in every weekend. we get stuck sitting at home for a night, it kind of hurts us if everybody else is racing 2 nights and we only get one in.
Speaking of which, what are your plans for this weekend? You maybe heading up north to a big paying race, or you going to stick around here, run some ALMS?
No, well, our original plan was to run the ALMS stuff. I was going to do Attica and Oakshade this weekend, but I don't know. The weather doesn't look good for tomorrow, so I don't know. We've got a couple different tracks on the radar. Weather up to Winston doesn't look too bad. Tri-City weather looks terrible right now. It looks like they're going to get rained out tomorrow. Attica's the original plan, but if the weather doesn't work out, we may end up over to Winston. I'm not sure.
All right. Final question for me, at least. I don't know if these guys have anything. It looks like Jerry's got to get going.
Yep, I got to run out of here. Rusty, it was great talking to you again, man. I'll see you up at Oakshade soon.
Thanks, man. It was good talking to you.
This past weekend, in your heat race, and I kind of talked to you a little bit about it in the pits.
I knew this was coming.
You got sideways there in 1 and 2, and instead of stopping or spinning out, laid on the gas, shot the gap through the infield there, and I don't know. From my perspective, you had no room. I thought for sure you were just going to smash right into the concrete block. You threaded the needle between the concrete block and the tire there. Walk us through what was going on there.
Yeah, that was the hole closed up a lot. It was a lot smaller than I thought it was when I actually got to it. But now I entered turn 1 wrong. Dona got the jump on me on that second restart there, and I was moving around trying to find a line where I could get around him. I missed pretty bad entering turn 1, and I hit that hole wrong. We've had that hole in the middle of turn 1 and 2 there the last couple of weeks. Generally it's not too bad. You can get around it, but I missed it. I was trying to enter and come back down across the racetrack in a way that I hadn't the lap before, and I caught my left front in that hole wrong, and it spun me out. And it was either spin the car out. Well, when I spun sideways, I looked behind me and I realized I had a pretty big gap. So it was either spin the car out or try to bring it back on the racetrack. And I knew my only way to save it was to drive through the infield. So I picked a hole on the back straightaway that looked like I could fit through, and when I got there was only a couple inches on each side. So I'm glad I'm glad I had my glasses on straight so I could make it through there.
Scott, I think Rusty will back me up on this. When you're in a race car and you're on the throttle, you're in control. When you're on the brakes, the car's in control. So
right.
He made the right choice. Hit the right pedal.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. You had 2 options there: hit the brakes and spin it out, and hope I can pass a couple cars in the last few laps coming from the tail of the heat, or try to save the thing. And it was thank God I had enough room there between them tractor tires to make it back on the racetrack.
Well, I think the biggest surprise to me was that you didn't get yelled at on the radio for racing through the infield like a lot of people do. You must have gone through there so quick they didn't see you.
Honestly, I was expecting it because I've done it before. A few years back, I did it, and I had a whole earful of the lady on the other end of that receiver cussing me out for going through the infield. So, but as a race car driver, we got to do what we got to do. There wasn't I didn't see any people. I didn't see a cameraman or anybody down in that corner. So I knew I was.
It's not like you had a lot of time to make a decision either. It was like boom, boom.
Yeah, things slow down a lot in the race car, though. You know how it is, Scott. It looks a lot faster from outside the car.
It was just one of those risk versus reward things.
Right, exactly.
Well, you didn't lose any positions. There was no yellow flag. You did lose some ground to Dona, who went on and won that heat race, but you ended up winning the feature later on that night. So I guess it worked out well.
It did. My whole goal was just to get in the redraw, and we made that happen. So.
All right. Are we going to see you at the birthday race this year?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, definitely. We'll be there for that. It's been a long time since I've won that deal. I gotta get that notch back on my belt again.
Yeah, I remember interviewing the second place guy. I don't remember who it was. One of the big guys, and he said, I don't know who that guy up there was, but man, he drove a hell of a race. I forget who that was now.
Jack Sullivan.
Is that who it could have been? Sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah, that was Jack Sullivan.
Well,
That's what Mr. Buckles says.
Yep. Well, all right. We'll let you go so you can get back to work. You're a busy man, and good luck this weekend if you run Attica and Oakshade or wherever you do end up running. Any chance you'll get to Eldora on Sunday night for the Appleseed?
I don't think so. As of now, if we're going to race, we've talked about going to maybe Spoon River on Sunday and Macon on Monday. If we're going to race Saturday or Sunday and Monday, that's probably, we'll head out in that area so I can get 2 races in. If we go to Eldora, we're just kind of stuck running Sunday. So we'll probably head out west and maybe do Spoon River and Macon.
All right, man. Sounds good. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Have a great weekend, Rusty. And
you too, Ron.
again,
We'll see you soon.
And you know the deal. You're bound to win the next one.
Yeah.
I better make it. I better pick a good one.
No pressure.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you, Rusty.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Yep. Rusty Schlenk, your point leader, national late model points, and several-time winner of that, and a lot of championships there. So good luck to him. And that was a crazy. I still can't believe how he fit between in there. That whatever. I guess we'll move on.
Sometimes blind luck just.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I would have just closed my eyes and been like, see what happens.
You'd have been screaming like a little girl.
No. We were talking about the Tony Holman Classic for the USAC Sprint Cars Terre Haute last night.
Yep.
And we mentioned Brady Bacon. Did you see the video of his flip?
I didn't see it. I saw the aftermath. Saw him looking at the car, pretty torn up.
I think I saw a meme of the picture of where he reached the highest point and something about did he get clearance from air traffic control?
Yeah,
or something. Yeah, but he ended up in the parking lot. That was a wicked crash. But he broke out the backup car and raced his way through the B main and ended up finishing third in that race. USAC Silver Crown cars we mentioned before were scheduled to race tonight, but that has rained out. We got that weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman coming up here in just a little bit. Make sure to contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racetrack photos, whether on the track or in Victory Lane. They have 24 years of memories with you at Oakshade and Toledo Speedway and other local tracks. They can meet all your photo needs at the track, and they can do photo shoots by appointment. Freeze Frame Photos, special moments frozen in time. 419-476-9978. Also, make sure to support Big D's Pizza and Subs, ribs, chicken, and more out there in Clyde. 419-547-1444. Order online at orderbigdspizza.com. Check out the Big Nut Barbecue Sauce, $5.99 a pint. Big D's, big on taste, not on price. And, of course, Ron Miller Race Cars, right there in Lambertville, Michigan. 734-856-7223. Race cars, parts, safety equipment, service, everything a racer needs. Even took some time on his birthday to help me out last week trying to get that carburetor to not leak. And turns out it was something that wasn't the carburetor's fault. Yeah. So it all worked out. So thank you for that. Got some racing news to get through here. Just a year after his induction into... Actually, before we do that, so we mentioned... I wish we still had Jerry on here. Should we talk about the grudge match?
Sure.
All right. So coming up on June 5th, that is a week from this Saturday, at Oakshade Raceway, we're going to have the Hammer Down Racing Report grudge match at Oakshade Raceway. How many laps did we decide we're going to go?
All three of the hosts.
Yeah. How many laps did we decide we're going to go?
8.
8 laps? Okay. We're going to do the 8-lap option if we get that cleared with Pam. She pretty much said, yeah, do whatever you want. So, yeah, it'll be me in my Bomber, Ron in his late model, and Jerry in his dirt track truck, 4-cylinder. So we're going to stagger the start. So we'll talk about that later. But, yeah, it'll just be us for 8 laps. And I don't know what we would. Winner gets a Big D's Pizza. How's that? We'll see if Dean's in on that.
Delivered?
I don't know about that. But, yeah, so, yeah. That's what we're going to do, Pam. I don't think I've given the details to Pam yet at Oakshade, but, yeah, that's what we're planning on doing. So I don't know how that's going to turn out, but we shall find out. I think we're going to give Jerry a lap advantage over me at the start. I will have a lap advantage over Ron. So Jerry, by default, will have 2 lap advantage over Ron at the start with his late model.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be Interesting. So just a year after his induction into the NASCAR Hall of Fame, Bobby Labonte will be chasing the checkered flag in the Dayton 100, a new event for the JEG CRA All-Star Tour. The June 27th race at Killcare Speedway will be a new challenge for Labonte, who will be driving the number 26 Platinum Express Pro late model for the first time on the tricky third-mile oval, where he's never competed before. So Bobby Labonte, he's also doing the SRX stuff too.
Right.
So he's getting to be a busy guy. Scott Dixon, the 2008 Indianapolis 500 winner and six-time NTT IndyCar Series champion, won his fourth Indianapolis 500 pole during the Firestone Fast 9 shootout. Dixon knocked off young Colton Herta, knocked him off the pole with a four-lap average of 231.685 miles an hour. Does the 0.685 miles an hour matter if you're going
230 miles an hour? No.
Yeah. The race kicks off, the Indianapolis 500 race kicks off on Sunday at 11:30 p.m. on NBC. It was announced Thursday at Indianapolis Motor Speedway that NTT has extended its sponsorship agreement with IndyCar. The multi-year extension means the series will remain known as the NTT IndyCar Series. In another positive sign for motorsports returning back to normal, fans are going to be allowed to attend, and this is in your state, Ron, June's Detroit Grand Prix IMSA and IndyCar weekend at Belle Isle. The state of Michigan announced on Thursday it was lifting the restrictions on outdoor seating capacity as of June 1st. As a result, the Detroit Grand Prix will welcome full seating in the grandstands for the race weekend at Belle Isle on June 11th and 13th. So that's also good news for Flat Rock, too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series has nixed the race at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park for the second year in a row due to COVID-19 restrictions and logistics issues getting across the border. Instead, the trucks will run at Darlington again with the Cup and Xfinity Series on the weekend of September 4th. So Canada not quite open just yet, so we're still feeling some COVID effects, but it's getting better. Do you see the bad super late model crash at Berlin Raceway?
I don't think I saw that, Scott.
I wish I had the video. That was a pretty crazy deal. There was a big crash in the corner, and then this car, I believe that was driven by Eddie DeHant, about a half lap behind the crash, comes full speed into the side of one of the cars that was stopped on the track.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a pretty gruesome looking thing. I don't know what was going on there, but both drivers were injured in that. I'm sorry, that was David Fretz, Eddie DuHant's Chase Elliott spotter. Nothing to do with that crash. David Fretz and Boris Jerkovich were involved in the crash. David Fretz remains in the ICU in critical but stable condition. This is as of, I think, about 2 days ago. I haven't gotten an update yet. And Boris Jerkovich remained hospitalized with fractures to both legs.
Ooh.
So, yeah, pretty crazy accident up there at Berlin this past weekend. Chase Elliott spotter Eddie DuHant has been suspended indefinitely after Hendrick Motorsports learned of 2 assault charges against him. And he was spotting for Chase at COTA this past weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not
Must
sure
be a pretty good spotter.
I'm not sure how I feel about that because he's only been charged. I mean, maybe he's done something, but he hasn't been convicted or anything. But yeah, I don't know. I could go either way on that. Mike Joy. How old's Mike Joy?
103.
Is he really? Wow.
No.
He looks good for his age then. Lead Fox NASCAR analyst Mike Joy is going to get behind the wheel of a 1966 Mustang to compete in the Trans Am Series on the weekend of June 5th and 6th. At Sonoma, I believe it was.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I hope they have some live in-car on that.
I'm sure they'll get some footage of that. Early start times at Flat Rock. You wanted me to follow up with Scott Schultz on that. See how that went? Yeah, I got a response from him this morning. He said most of the feedback, for those of you who don't know, Flat Rock was starting their first 3 weekends, Saturday nights at 4 o'clock, racing at 4 o'clock, I should say. So there was an earlier time. He says that most of the response was positive. They think they drew some new fans because a lot of the questions they got were general questions like, is there going to be food? Can we bring a cooler? That kind of stuff. So he thinks it exposed some new fans there. He says that Drager says they should do it again in 2022, and they probably will.
Very good.
So that's your update on the...
Thank you for that, Scott.
You're welcome. See, ask, and you shall receive. It's investigative reporting at its best. Let's check out our Twitter poll results from last week. Last week's Twitter poll, or I should say this week's Twitter poll was, should NASCAR race in the rain? Before I show the answer, what do you think, Ron? Did you see any of the race on Sunday?
I thought it was pretty interesting. I was disappointed. Having raced in really adverse conditions the first part of this year.
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we?
and we didn't have windshield wipers.
No.
I think they should have finished the race. But other than that, I thought it was interesting. I would hate to see every race run under those conditions. But, you know, for a couple times a year, yeah, I like it.
We didn't have the visibility issues quite as bad as they did down at
really?
Dakota. I'm thinking.
I think I did.
Well, there was visibility issue, but we also weren't going. How fast are they going on that straightaway? 180 miles an hour. I think I heard one of them say that's pretty darn fast for running in the rain and not being able to see. I don't think we were going 180 miles an hour at Sandusky.
Whatever.
I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So we put the poll out there, and majority of people said no. NASCAR should not race in the rain. 37.5%, 18.8% said yes, and also maybe. So it was kind of a split. If you add the yeses and the maybes together, they're pretty even with the no's, and then you got 25% that just don't care.
I don't think we'll see that on any of the oval races, Scott. I think it lends itself to the road race, though.
But it worked at the Charlotte Roval a little bit better, but I don't think the rain was quite as heavy for that event. I don't actually remember, but I don't think it was quite as heavy. So they didn't have the visibility issues.
Don't know about you, but I can relate to the hydroplaning that they were complaining about.
Is that why you lost?
No, it's that darn Davey kid. I couldn't get around him.
Oh.
He wouldn't make a mistake.
All right, let's move on to our how many this week's chance to win a Big D's Pizza. Last week, we asked how many ARCA Menard Series competitors would start the race Saturday night at Toledo. And do you know how many started, Ron?
I think I heard 17.
You heard 3 too many then.
Oh, my.
Yeah. 14 cars started that race. Last week's guest, Thad, he finished 5th, I believe. So he didn't pick up the win like we had hoped. So yeah, I think he started 5th and finished 5th. Not too bad, though. So we had a tie, actually, for our online winner. Well, actually, first me. I was our winner because I picked Lois. I said 18. That was a little high, but whatever. Our online winners, we had a tie between Matt Swander and Charlie Orns. 2 folks that I know. So we're going to have to spin the Big D's Pizza wheel to find out who's going to win this week's Big D's Pizza. So bring this up here, and here we go.
How close were they, Scott?
They both picked, where'd they go? 16. So they were 2 off. Charlie Orns.
All right.
He's got himself Big D's Pizza. There you go.
Charlie, I hope you share pizza.
Well, and he could take pictures of it, too.
Yeah.
Charlie Orns, of course, of Freeze Frame Photos. We got a lot of racing action this weekend to talk about. And before we get to our weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman, which I still have not listened to yet. But we'll talk about racing action. Hopefully that'll happen tomorrow. Forecast from what I've heard doesn't look too good. Dean's in for something. What was it? The pizza for the grudge race, I think.
Right.
I haven't looked at the comments in a while. I just saw that he's in there. Cool. Maybe we can get him to bring the pizza out there. We could have the pizza right after the race. What are you looking at?
Just looking at the notes, at the comments.
Okay. All right. Well, we give Ron Miller Race Car some love there in the scroll. So tomorrow night, Lima Land Motorsports Park is the 23rd Annual Memorial Cup and inaugural Ron Cale Jr. Memorial. It's part of a couple race deal with the Ron Cale Memorial. The NRA Sprint Invaders to 2,500 to win at Lima Land tomorrow night. UMP Modifieds and Thunderstocks in action. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:30. General admission for that show is $15. Attica Raceway Park, it's Steinley Chevrolet Buick Stillwater Metals Night featuring the Attica Fremont Championship Series 410s, paying $4,000 to win. Attica Fremont Championship Series 305s and late models, $3,000 to win for those guys. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:45. General admission is $18 there at Attica Raceway Park. That's Friday. Saturday night, Oakshade Raceway. We have American Late Model Series, UMP Sportsman, Bombers, and Compacts in action. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission $14. Sandusky Speedway will have the Ohio Wheelman Series. Renegades, Beginner Stocks, and Pure Stocks all in action. Main gate opens at 4, racing at 7. And general admission is $12. Sandusky Speedway this Saturday. Fremont Speedway is Napa Auto Parts Night. Fremont Fast 410 wing sprints will be in action, as well as the Boss non-wing sprints, and dirt trucks in action as well. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission $18 at Fremont. Flat Rock Speedway, the Joy Fair Memorial 100. Did you know Joy Fair?
I did.
Did you? My parents used to
raced against him.
Did you? Did you ever beat him?
Oh yeah. In a pursuit race, Australian pursuit, yes.
That's pretty. That must have been an accomplishment.
Stands out in my record book.
Anyway, legendary.
He was absolutely king, Scott.
Yeah. I watched him when my parents watched him when they were dating and before I was around. I watched him when I was in high school and beyond. Incredible racer there. Joy Fair Memorial 100 at Flat Rock is Saturday night, featuring Outlaw Super Late Models, Street Stocks, and they're going to have dashes and pursuits. Speaking of there, maybe if Oakshade happens to rain out, you go up to Flat Rock and run a dash and a pursuit.
Take my late model up there, maybe.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know what the rules are. They might be all right. Pit gate opens at 2:30, racing at 7. General admission's $20 there at Flat Rock Speedway, and then Eldora Speedway. That's actually Sunday. Sunday, Eldora Speedway, Johnny Appleseed Classic, featuring the American Late Model Series modifieds and stocks. So all 3 classes in action. Gates open at 4, racing at 7:30. General admission is $19, and then Waynesfield also Sunday. Ron Cale Memorial, featuring the final night of the Ron Cale Memorial, the NRA Sprint Invaders taking on the Patriot Sprint Tour competitors, plus the Boss Series, Buckeye Outlaw Sprint Series. Pit gates open at 3, spectator gates at 4, racing at 7 p.m. General admission is $20 there, and I have a feeling that I had Eldora under my Saturday races on my notes here that I send to Ryan Weekman. So I have a feeling he may say Eldora Saturday night. He meant Sunday.
Oh, okay.
That's what he meant. So how about we take a listen to our weekend weather pit stop, because I think it's supposed to get cold and windy and not so good tomorrow. But, well,
Here is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. A First Alert day for Friday means I'm going to be ducking things that you're likely throwing at me. Looking ahead towards our forecast for Friday evening, Lima Land and Attica. Temperature is going to be in the 50s. I'll be shocked if races happen after a soaking day of rain showers, a strong northeast wind, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour throughout the day. Saturday, a bit more interesting. We've got Oakshade, Sandusky, Fremont, Flat Rock, Eldora, all starting around 7 o'clock. I do think there's going to be more scattered rainfall during the day. It's going to be light scattered showers, but nevertheless, it could end up being a little bit of an overcast and wet day. So especially for those racetracks down towards Eldora, Fremont, Sandusky, I think that's where you'll run into a few more problems with some lingering showers. And again, a northeast wind, highs only in the low 60s. Waynesfield on Sunday, likely the one race that we'll give a 2 thumbs up to. Dry day on Sunday. Temperatures should be close to 70 degrees, at least during the afternoon hours, and that northeast wind starts to settle down a bit. Move the races to Monday, and it looks really nice. I get it. Can't do that. This has been your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman.
There he goes. There he goes. Yeah. So yeah, Eldora might be all right then on Sunday. If, he's given 2 thumbs up to Waynesfield.
So, Scott, with all this rain, what kind of track conditions would you expect on Saturday night?
If it's raining, it's going to be pretty slick. That's my prediction.
Okay.
If we do race, it could be fast track. I mean, if they can get the moisture out, I'm thinking it's going to be cold, and if the wind doesn't dry it out too much, the overcast skies will help, and maybe keep the track a little tacky. It could be a fast track.
But I would wager that you're wrong.
Well, you probably could, and I was just guessing. You're the professor, you know it all. So
Scott, what I've found on rainy days, great days like this, where they've forecast a fair amount of rain, the track prep people will roll the track in to seal it over so that the rain doesn't cut little rivulets into the track. And because the track is sealed up, it doesn't take any water, and those days tend to wind up pretty dry and dusty despite all the rain that we get. So if we don't get too much rain, let's see what happens Saturday night.
All right, then.
Of course, Flat Rock isn't going to be an issue because they don't have to worry about water cutting into the track.
Or Sandusky. In Sandusky, even if it does rain, we'll race at Sandusky. That's fine.
In the rain.
Anything. There you go. No Hammer Down Hotline playback for you tonight. Nobody wanted to leave us a message. If you want to be on the show next week, call 419-318-3081. That's 419-318-3081. Anytime, day or night. And tell us what's
insult
on your mind.
us.
Yeah. Insult Ron, not me.
Oh, tell Scott. Tell Scott what you're really
insult
think.
Jerry. Jerry's not here to defend himself, so insult Jerry. Does that work? We good with that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I want to thank our associate producer, Dave Kemmer, also field correspondents Matt Swander, Doug Dock, helping out. John Young's almost corresponded too. He sends me a bunch of news stories. I have to add him on there. We'll be back next week, 7 o'clock, live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Almost forgot the other one. So make sure to follow us on there. Thanks again to all of our sponsors. Make sure to support them because they support us. And indirectly, you supporting them supports us. We appreciate that. Of course, Oakshade Raceway, our presenting sponsor. Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, Millstream Speedway, Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, and Freeze Frame Photos. So thanks again to all of our sponsors. If you'd like to be a sponsor, visit hammerdownracingreport.com. All the sponsorship information is available on there. And again, don't forget, leave us a message, 419-318-3081 on the Hammer Down hotline.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah, your suggestions, whatever. You want to talk racing, your opinion on racing in the rain, whatever. Doesn't matter. How much you love Rusty, how much you hate Rusty.
You too can be a star on Hammer Down Racing Report.
One of these days, I think we're just going to have a show. I'll just send out the link, just publish it, and then anybody can join in. Be a free-for-all.
That could be dangerous.
It'd be like a battle royal. Well, I still have to bring them on. We could have like 10 people in the green room, but they don't come on unless I bring them in there.
We doing how many tonight, Scott?
Oh, crap. We just did the winners, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Hang on, we're not leaving yet.
Yep. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Yeah, I kind of skipped over that. I was getting ahead of myself. I got excited about all the racing this weekend. So, this week's How Many? We spun the Big D's Pizza Wheel, and I was all, woohoo, it was fun. Yay, let's move on now. This week's How Many? Your chance to win a Big D's Pizza. That's why everybody's sticking around. I was wondering why everybody was still here.
Yeah.
How many late models will be at Oakshade for the American Late Model Series race on Saturday night?
Ooh, and you've got to go first.
I do, and I feel like if I pick 0, I'm being extremely pessimistic. But at the same time, I have no idea how many American Late Model guys are going to show up. Let's Well, maybe I'll just wait a little bit and see what some people are saying in the comments.
Oh, there we go.
Looks like 20 seemed to be a pretty good guess. Oh, there's a 31. I'm gonna go with 20. I like what Charlie picked. Charlie won this week. I'm going with what he picked, 28. 28 late models at Oakshade on Saturday night. What do you got, Ron?
27.
Yeah, it's
and that was going to be before I. No, I. If you had made me go first, I would have said 27.
I gotcha. All right. Is Kathy around? Is she gonna?
Hey, Mrs. Miller, how many cars at Oakshade Saturday? Late models.
And while Ron's getting that,
Beats me.
beats you. Oh,
How many? Woo.
35. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, that's what her said.
That's a good number. You
Yeah,
like
I
that
like
number.
that. I do.
So for your chance to win a Big D's Pizza, just put your guess in our comments on our Facebook Live. I may even check the YouTube ones because I've noticed there's been some comments going in there for the how many's. So
Well, make it a point. Yeah.
I'm going to cut it off, though, at midnight on Friday because I'm thinking... Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case. Midnight on Friday. So if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or whatever, any podcasting platform, not live, you can still get in on it. Just head on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Hammerdown Racing Report. Find this video for this show with Rusty Schlenk as the title, DIRTcar National Late Model Champion, or Point Leader, and put your guess in the comments. And you have until midnight Friday night to do that. So, there. Did I miss anything else? Did I skip over anything else? Or are we done now?
No, I think it's dinner time, Scott.
All right. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy your day off if you got Monday off, and make sure to get out and support a race or two or maybe three this weekend because there's plenty to choose from. If some happen to get rained out, looks like later in the weekend seems to be a little bit better weather-wise. So we'll see you out there, right? Go eat your pizza. Go eat your pizza.
It's not pizza tonight.
What?
Actually, it's hot roast beef sandwiches. Mama's home, and I'm getting homemade dinners again.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you next week, 7 o'clock. Hammer Down Race Report. We out.
Goodbye.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.